We have a saying in GreenBizCheck, and that is that green business is good business. The fact of the matter is, research is showing us that on a daily basis, businesses around the world are achieving massive returns on investment. So just like the carbon tax is throwing a lot of fear, a lot of concern into people's lives, like previous speakers and Dave mentioned, we just get on with it. The fact of the matter is we are going to get a carbon tax. Love it, hate it, it's a fact of life. The Senate is populated by people that will introduce it. So it is going to happen. So I'm taking a slightly different perspective. There's the logic, there's all the usual approach that we hear about this. The earth is our home. It's precious and it's unique. We need to breathe air, we need to drink water. So whether we believe in global warming or not, it's not really relevant. What we need to do is, as individuals, is take small steps. And the whole idea of GreenBizCheck has been predicated around small steps, not taking massive leaps, not making massive changes to business. It's about small steps achieving large results. Our planet is irreplaceable, as Baden said earlier this evening. We're using the planet up at the rate of 1.5 to 1.7. It doesn't take a Rhodes Scholar to work out that if we continue to do this, that certainly, possibly not in my lifetime, but certainly in the younger people's lifetime, it will become unsustainable. And frankly, the choices we make today will manifest the world we live in tomorrow. So we can't keep putting things off. As one of the great procrastinators in this world, I'm one of those, I've realised that we can't keep saying, it'll get better, we can do it tomorrow. We really have to get on with it now. And like many people will tell you, it's not rocket science. Going green is much quicker and easier than most people think. And you can thank the founders of GreenBizCheck for doing that. The complexity, the onerous tasks have been taken out of this by following the GreenBizCheck system. It's very elegant in its simplicity. I think if businesses learn to embrace the upcoming opportunities and redesigning their business, as Dave said, right now with the silly season coming up, the Gold Coast virtually goes into a shutdown for around a month to a month and a half. It's a great time to reorganise yourself and get prepared for the coming year. The world will not come to a standstill unless something happens before that, but it certainly won't happen on the 1st of July next year. It is a fact of life. The sooner we come to terms with accepting that this is it and we get on with our lives and make the best of it. As Christine Mill mentioned, there are some great opportunities coming up here. If we learn to recognise those opportunities, or even if we can't, talk to people, give advice, find out what's going on out there, make those small steps, get started. The return on investment, I'll come back a moment. We do a lot of research through the organisation that we are. We read a lot, we look at what the world's best practice is. And what we're finding is that the return on investment is often much more dramatic than anyone ever anticipated, and the exciting part about it is it's happening much faster. So again, we tend to worry about things, we tend to think, boy, this is such a big job. Oh, I don't know where to start, I won't do anything. Start now, do something, do small things, they all add up. This is a case study that we did with a very large law firm that's based in Sydney and Melbourne, but they also have a very large office in Brisbane called, most people might recognise their name as DLA Phillips Fox. Recently they underwent a merger and they've become DLA Piper. Very large organisation. I'm not going to sit here and read the numbers to you, but what you can see from that is that they've achieved energy savings of around 38%. And they've achieved consumable savings of around 20%. Now this is a large, sophisticated law firm with some of the best facilities available, and yet they were still able to achieve these massive savings. As you can imagine, they're pretty happy because I believe their staffing is around 200 people in the Brisbane office. So savings like that, we can't discuss the dollars and cents, but we can certainly say the percentages. Do you think they're happy? Damn straight they are. I remember hearing an old expression, you don't know what you don't know. And this is where it really comes down to getting good advice from people who do know, or people who are also getting good advice from other people. So the question that's often there is, where do I start? What do I do? Is help available? In all those answers, in all those questions, the answer is quite simple. It's GreenBizCheck. There are other organisations around that can do bits and pieces. There's no organisation that can do what we as a group do around Australia, New Zealand and Singapore. So I'd like you to ask yourself, what's the upside if I act now? What are the benefits to me? Balance that off. There's an old trick in selling. It's called a balance sheet. You have the pluses and the minuses on each side. So if we put the upside, if I act now, and we counterbalance that with, what's the downside if I act now? Is there a negative? What is it? Perhaps cost? But again, if we understand that cost and investment are basically two sides of the same coin. Cost is if you spend the money and do nothing sensible with it. Investment is if you actually drive achievement and make something happen. Proactivity. So as you can see on a little diagram along the side there, there's some little thought points there. What's next? Next is about deciding to take action. Do something. Don't sit on your hands and wait for the government to do something magical. I think we're in for a big disappointment if we do that. They've got their hands full working at the very large international level. What we need to do is work for ourselves, take responsibility, save a lot of money within our own businesses, and then use that to generate new business. Thank you.